Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ. You're here on the home of the Slightly Above Average Ship Review. We're on northern waters in a domination match today in the Japanese Tier 7 premium battleship, the Key. The Key was a planned class of 4 fast battleships to be built for the Imperial Japanese Navy during the 1920s. Only 2 of the ships received names. However, after the signing of the Washington Naval Treaty, work on the ships were suspended and they were canceled by 1924. Really quickly here, as we are getting started with this match, as you can see, this is one of those weird domination matches where you have 1 cap and the enemy has 1 cap, and then 2 of them are up for grabs. Going to wiki.wargaming.net. HE shell velocity 805 meters per second, AP shell velocity 806 meters per second, and are we going to get a dispersion value 223 meters. Going to WoW's builds, damage record 266,709, base XP record, I can't believe I'm reading this number, 4,546. The sigma value of the Key is 1.8. It gets 1.94 fires per minute. The arming threshold of the armor-piercing shells is 68 millimeters. The overmatch is 29 millimeters. That's the Key. A ship that never made it off paper onto the battlefield. Well, I mean, in this case, it never made it out of the port, out of the shipyard into the water onto the battlefield. All right, you can see here the Key is allegedly a upgrade to the Amagi class. I don't agree with the Amagi class being at Tier 7. I don't agree with the Key being at Tier 7 either. I just have a problem with ships of this age competing against ships that were built much later. Anyway, that's my own personal thing. We're spamming HE. As you can see, the rear turret bias here. Three turrets to the rear of the smokestack, 2 to the front. So what you're seeing right now, 2 idiots crashing into each other on the enemy team. No, I'm not talking about that. What you're seeing is me kiting away a little bit and using the angle. You do have pretty good turret angles I found in these Japanese battleships. Able to keep all turrets on target here while providing a big angle out there to the enemy. And, you know, if you don't like the incoming fire you're receiving, like my teammate who's getting absolutely pounded right in front of me, you can always turn your bow away and put less turrets on target, but at a minimum you should be able to keep those 3 rear turrets on target here. Those 2 ships are like 2 dogs in the middle of the summer. Somebody needs to spray a water hose on them and get them busted up. Anyway, one guy is turning back, or one ship is turning back. The other is proceeding forward. Unfortunate. If they'd stayed like that all game, we could have had a great time. We're going to shoot at Republique here. I'm going to try. Not going to get the reload in time. Switching back to the Bismarck, as it is affectionately known on Reddit. And we set him on fire. For our second fire, checking the heading of Republique, I don't have torpedo range. This thing has relatively short torpedo range of just 6 kilometers. Unfortunately, there are some Japanese battleships with very long torpedo range. This is not one of them. And I gotta say, I had a hard time getting a good match in the Key. I've said this before, I don't... my play style is not the play style of the Japanese battleship. Unfortunately for me. Also, in a note I find humorous, I think I've said this before, he in the Thai language means shit. So this is kind of like Chevy Nova didn't sell in Mexico because Nova means no-go, allegedly. So this is the same kind of thing. I see a ship named Key, and because I immediately think of Ki Mao, which in Thai means shit-faced, I think, this is a shit warship. Anyway, let's get back to the match. There's our first kill. We burned somebody to death. May that be a lesson to you. And now we're going to turn, and as you can see, those rear turrets swiveling over to the Bismarck. In a minute here, we're going to let go another salvo. Hopefully he is not killed by this airplane torpedoes. Hopefully. Oh, we set him on fire. Can we get the kill? The answer is no. Nope. It got taken away. That's all right. Completing our turn, Giuseppe Verdi, the campaign ship. I'm hoping to have the Giuseppe Verdi video up next week. Although I'll be honest, I'm going to be hard-pressed to match Vaz Vegas' first match. I've already had like 5 matches in Giuseppe Verdi, and none of them are anywhere close to what Vaz did, so I need a little bit of luck. There, our chance of a kill pinch was denied. All right. We got a Musashi out here. So yeah, next week I hope to have Azumo, Awami, and Giuseppe Verdi. And then after that, in the Z44, I think it is, campaign, we'll be in the great unknown at that point, because I really don't play cruisers, and I really don't play aircraft carriers. I do have some videos. I might cut back to 2 a week. I'm also going to start a playthrough of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, because it is free on Game Pass, my alternate channel, so you're more than happy to, more than welcome, pardon me, to check that out. And I will include a link somewhere in some of the comments at some point for that. So yeah, shooting at the Musashi here, we're shooting armor piercing. Did a fair amount of damage for this ship. As you can see, we got kind of almost all of the shell ribbons there with just 1 salvo, except for a shatter. I was kind of hoping the soft armor, what I perceived to be the soft armor of the Musashi, would get penned pretty easily. But at this angle, that wasn't really happening. All right, we've also got a Kronstadt over there. I'm saving him for later, concentrating on the most important enemy, the Musashi. Hoping to get a front pen of the Citadel. Just checking my torpedo range there. That salvo was worse because he bowed in on me. So yeah, at some point I'm just hoping to be able to bow tank a salvo from Musashi and then hit him with some torpedoes and call it a day. Alright, resetting the game really quickly. We have a very small 15-point lead. We've both lost the same amount of ships. Shooting those shells up into the bow plate, up over the bow, and we do set him on fire. Switch back to armor piercing because he is going broadside. And we're going to minimize our angle to him. Again, checking his heading. Torpedoes just available. We bow tank the Kronstadt. And now we're turning back to get our torpedoes on target. Torpedoes are out. But you know, as soon as I did that, I knew I wouldn't need them. Fully broadside. Full salvo from the key. Yes. 2 hits to Citadel. And our second kill. Alright. I'm pretty happy about that one. Moving on to the Kronstadt. He doesn't have a lot of health left. We hazard another salvo from him there. I am mindful. Somewhere out there is a destroyer. I am mindful. Somewhere out there is an aircraft carrier. Thankfully, we haven't been targeted by aircraft a lot. Also, thankfully, for a Japanese ship, the key has respectable AA. Just as I say that, we do get targeted. We do start shooting down airplanes. By the way, we're up to 95,000 damage as the planes start falling into the water. There is the August von Parzival. That is a luxury. We're going to have to save that for later, folks. Still dealing with Kronstadt. I don't know why he didn't go into the open water or try to run away. Instead, he's coming right at me. So we'll shoot some HE, checking his motion, and we just chew him up with HE for our third kill. Alright, suddenly, and I'm not saying I had anything to do with it, the red team has been decimated, and the blue team has a commanding 2-ship lead. Now, I would love some assistance from the aircraft carrier to tell me where the destroyer is at. But you will see shortly that was all for naught. See, I thought right here I was being spotted by the destroyer of the red team, and that's probably true. But he's not where I thought he would be. I thought he'd be somewhere around this cap area, and you'll see later he wasn't. All right, long-range shooting at a hipper who doesn't really give me a whole lot to shoot at there. I think I am going to engage one of my heals here in a second to pump myself up. There are a couple hits on the hipper. I'll take it. Over 110,000 damage in the key. And we're down tier, I think. Musashi's a tier 8 ship, so we should have been down here. Continuing to aim at the hipper as we're going to cap out this cap circle. I think it's alpha. Another salvo. I was hoping to get him to drive into that, and that's just not going to happen. Unfortunately for me. If that had happened, this would have been an incredible event. He did take a couple of hits there. One penetration and a shatter and something else. If I only knew what all the hit marker ribbons meant. August von Parzival. He is now within striking range. And here you're going to see, as great as the key did against Musashi, it is going to do terrible against the August von Parzival. Salvo number 1, 3 overpens. That's it. Out of 10 shells fired from under 6 kilometers, only 3 of the shells hit. That is abysmal. By the way, AA is still shooting. We are shooting down some airplanes. I was worried he was just going to play Ring Around the Rosie with the island here. So we cut back. Meanwhile, off screen, the hipper gets taken out. We were continuing to shoot down airplanes, especially the spotter planes, which were like, you know, little marshmallows for your AA to pick off out of the air, if you have good AA. And like I said, for a Japanese ship, I think the key does have respectable AA. Again, we'll see it in the stats. It's only around your ship. You're not going to be protecting another ship out there. All right, August von Parzival is actually a lot quicker than I thought it would be. So he's moving out, again, right at the water line. Some more overpens. I just can't find that Citadel. I think if we were farther away, might have a better chance of getting a Citadel hit on the AVP. All right, torpedoes are out. Rear turrets coming around. Again at the water line. Rear of the smokestack. Again, just one pen. A couple overpens. But the torpedoes do their job. Kill number 4. We are officially on the hunt for a Kraken in the key. All right, and the destroyer gets killed way in the back of the map by our aircraft carriers. So thus endeth the match. And I forgot to do a stat comparison. Oh well. All right, here we are on the victory screen. 135,579 total damage. 72 main battery hits, 2 torpedo strikes, 15 airplanes shot down, 4 kills. We set 5 fires and had a solo base cap. Ended up with 603,468 silver, 5924 ship XP, 6328 commander XP in the key. Would I recommend the key? Not unless you love the sniper Battleship playstyle and you played the Amagi and do really well in it. All right, here we are, number 2, number 1 AL Chapayev, GG, 3,300 base XP. We ended up with 2991 base XP, 4 big kills. Not top of the board, but I will take it because I think this is one of the better games I played in a higher tier Japanese battleship ever. So yeah, no complaints. All right, here in the port, we went with AA Guns Mod 2 and Mod Slot 1. Damage Control System Mod 2. Concealment System Mod 1. And AA Guns Mod 3. Now I know you're saying, why are you using AA Guns instead of aiming systems? We'll get to that. All right, 3 charges of the repair party, 4 charges of the utterly optional spotter plane. The Epic Battle Booster for main battery range and movement speed was in effect, along with our Type 9 permanent camouflage and the Marine Day 22 flag. Spec 68,200 hit points and a 25% torpedo damage reduction with our build. We've got those 5 twin 410mm turrets, 19.8 kilometer firing range, 31 second reload, 34.6 second turn time. HE shells 6,500 damage with a 30% fire chance. AP shells 12,600 max damage. 2 sets of secondaries, range of both is 5 kilometers. First set of 8 twin 100mm. Reloads every 3 seconds, does 1,700 HE shell max damage with a 6% fire chance. The second set of 8 individual 140s, reloads every 8 seconds, does 2,400 HE shell max damage with a 10% fire chance. Please do not do a secondary build on the key. You do not have enough guns. Those hundreds probably won't even do anything. Just one man's opinion. All right, torpedoes. 2 triple tube launchers, reload every 90 seconds. Max damage looks like 14,600. They have a 6 kilometer range at 63 knots. The detectability is 1,600 meters. And may that be a lesson to you. All right, here's why we built into the AA, so we can have an AA rating of 100. All right, those the first set of secondaries is dual purpose, does count as AA, reaches out to 6 kilometers. Your best AA, the 40mm 60 Type 5, 16 twin 40mm emplacements, 220 damage per second. Maneuverability 30.4 knots, 880 meter turning circle, 16.7 second rudder shift time. So all those stats are pretty good. Not fast, but pretty quick. Concealment 13.5 on the surface, 11.3 from the air, 15.2 when firing from a smokescreen. Taking a look at the stats, this was our best game in the key by any objective measure, although I think in another game I shot down more airplanes. But kills, damage, and max XP, this was our best game. We do have a winning record in the key. We only have 1 kill via torpedo, which you saw in this match. So I like it better than the Amagi. But as far as Tier 7, I would pick the Lenin and several other American ships long before the key. All right, here in the armor viewer, I like the turret bases are sloped and heavily armored. Again, this wacky stepped up underwater Citadel, very vulnerable from the air to AP bombs, in my opinion, because it's got that very light green armor there. Put the bow back on, nothing special about the bow, no armor belt except to the rear, like we talked about. Turrets and barbettes, weakly armored except for the face of the turret, that's it. This casemate armor has that armor belt, 292 millimeters, goes all the way back to cover those rear turrets. So again, it's built for kiting away and firing mostly the rear turrets at your enemy, angling away, shooting all of your turrets at the enemy. Use what little armor it has to your advantage. Torpedo belt, that's all below the waterline there, so no spaced armor effect. This stuff just catches on fire, as you all know, and that is the armor profile of the key. Unimpressive, except for those turret faces. All right, here's our commander, fully maxed out, Takeo Takagi. This was before I got Wise and replaced Azur Lane, New Jersey, with Angelo Iacchino. We also have Azur Lane Scharnhorst on there for dispersion, and I was doing a full dispersion build, as you can see here. Flammable Cannoneer, crisscross, marksmanship, reaching out XXL, and fight fire with fire. That is the key, ladies and gentlemen. It is a premium battleship in World of Warships Legends, and it is available in any number of various ways. And I don't know what I'm doing here, except to say that, you know, maybe you don't need Azur Lane, New Jersey as much as you need the dispersion from Angelo Iacchino. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. See you on the next one.